the Tuesday, November 18th meeting of the Monmouth City Council. And Phyllis, a roll call, please.
Counselor Carey?
Here.
Counselor Guthrie?
Here.
Counselor Coons is running behind. Counselor Milligan?
Here.
Counselor Schaefer?
I'm here.
Counselor Silbernagel?
Here.
Mayor Oberst.
Here. All rise for the flag salute, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. I want to point out I think the agenda in the back has it, but the agenda that council got last week did not, and that is we have an executive session tonight after work session. So I will get to the script for that at the appropriate time, but I just want to make sure that that one's out there off the top. And the consent calendar tonight consists of minutes from the council meeting on November 4th and the work session from the same evening. If I can have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second, moved and seconded, in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and I'll sign off on those later. Mayor's report tonight, it has been a very quiet 2 weeks, so I don't really have anything for you. With the exception of, we have an application from Timothy Graham, who is new in town and wants to serve. We talked, I noted that he did, although it's his third choice, ask for arts and culture, and that's where we have our greatest need, so I would ask council to approve appointment of Timothy Graham to the Arts and Culture Commission.
I so moved.
Moved and seconded, in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you. Council, or reports from council reps to the boards and commissions, and I'll skip Councilor Coons and see if she gets here. She texted to say she was hung up at work, so. Councilor Milligan, Historic Commission and Planning Commission.
Sure. This last month, the Historic Commission didn't meet, so I have no report on that, and the Planning Commission didn't meet as well, so I don't have a report, but we will be meeting with both of those board and commission in our work session.
Right. Very good.
And they've done a lot over the last year to update them on.
Okay. Councilor Carey, have you been advising trees again?
I have been. However, I would say, Mr. Brennan and members of the council, that the November 15 planting, which was scheduled to be over on Jackson Street, was sort of canceled because the underground locates discovered why there were no trees there. There's lots underneath that. So that has been backed off, and I believe there's going to be a small group that's going to be involved with some staking. You know, some of the trees the younger ones got hit pretty good with the ice, and the staking just needs to be either redone or bolstered in many cases. The council received I believe an email from Mark Fancy that sort of tallied the 2014 planting report, which I don't know that was really detailed in the session we had, but just in a nutshell, in 2014, the tree board was responsible for 199 trees being planted in Monmouth. 97 of those trees were planted by volunteers, and since 2009, once we really launched this, 465 trees have been planted in the city of Monmouth. And as we say often, what a better way to improve the city in one day than a tree planting. And so we've had a lot of them. So that concludes the report.
Thank you. Councilor Schaefer.
Mayor and Council, I was unable to attend this last meeting, so I do not have a report.
Okay. Any community announcements tonight? And hearing none, I will turn to the city manager.
Yep, a few things. Madrona Park is actually almost getting done. And then, of course, they put out the nice seed before it kind of got cold, so I'm guessing it's not really doing much at this time. But
Nice walk.
we'll see how, yeah, it's really a nice section out there. Then on the urban renewal projects, you requested to get some input, so I've actually been going through our own boards and commissions to do something different. We've actually done several so far, and I think they've enjoyed it. They get to do something different. You know, the library board doesn't talk about urban renewal projects very much, so. So I actually got some good input, so I'll be compiling all that, and then when I get done next month, we'll get that to the council. And then last one, it's really nice, the software conversion for our main financial software. We actually had the company out. They actually came on Monday and Tuesday of last week, and so our staff was in there both days, including the holiday. And what they were doing was doing a deep dive into our system, getting into, our processes, why we do things certain ways. A little bit of training, mostly kind of figuring out how it's all gonna work. And a nice comment from it is our financial operations manager, John Steed, said, okay, I don't think you were tracking how this works. And then they had one of the main managers there, and he sat down with him for like several hours, walked him through everything. When the guy got done, he's like going, I don't run across people that are that good, that know. A lot of people, can push the buttons and the thing comes out, the paycheck comes out, the bill, but not knowing all the guts and why it gets there is very different. He said he was very surprised by that. No little Monmouth here, so.
Very good. Anything else?
Nope.
On taking urban renewal projects to the boards and commissions, are we just running those by, or running our list by them, or are we seeking additional ideas and input?
The core is the list you guys have.
Sure.
But then if they have some new ideas.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah,
wondering
We
if-
actually had,
if
in
we're-
the last meeting, somebody said, hey, what about this? This is a little bit different.
Okay.
I said, sure, just mark it down.
All right,
That's great,
okay.
so.
Yeah, good,
Yeah.
good.
Are we still reaching out to community members outside of the boards and commissions to
At
have
this point,
input?
I'm actually doing the boards and commissions and the Monmouth Business Association. And what I was thinking is maybe when we get that down, maybe get to a slightly smaller list, then we could do a broader, kind of more out to the general community.
Perfect. Okay, any citizen comments tonight? And seeing none, I will turn to the business agenda, which begins with the first reading of an ordinance adopting Amendment 14-01, which is amendments to the zoning ordinance, transportation systems plan, and the sign code. Mark?
I couldn't have put it any better. Attached is the ordinance. This would be the first reading tonight. And then we would schedule the second reading for the December 2nd meeting.
Okay, so we are now allowing sale signs. You have them along 99, and I noticed they're already spreading down 51. So, just, I think that's probably gonna be a challenge for you, as defining that it's 99 and only 99, but I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah,
think you
I saw
probably
them the
have.
other day, yeah.
So, they actually go away at night and come back out at night.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions, council, on this before I do a first reading? Okay, this is an ordinance adopting legislative amendment 14-01, amending the Monmouth zoning and development ordinance, transportation systems plan, and sign code. And we will take that up next time. And see if there are any other concerns, or whether we just had a second reading. Second item on the business agenda, and the only other item on the business agenda, is the second reading and adoption of the ordinance adopting amendment 14-03, which is amendments to the comprehensive plan map and zoning map. And Mark, do you have anything on that?
No, I was just gonna add, that's a number of properties that are on the Western Oregon University campus. And again, these are being changed from high-density residential designations to public and the public service college zone, consistent with the other properties on campus.
Okay, so by title, an ordinance amending the Monmouth Comprehensive Plan map designation for certain parcels of real property owned by Western Oregon University from high-density residential to public, and amending the Monmouth zoning map designation for said parcels from high-density residential to public service college. And this would be ordinance 1351. Anybody have any questions or comments for Mark? Anybody want to make a motion?
So I move the second reading and adoption of ordinance 1351, enacting legislative amendment 14-03, amending the Monmouth comprehensive plan map and zoning map.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Phillips?
Counselor Carey,
Aye.
Counselor Schaefer,
Aye.
Counselor Guthrie,
Aye.
Counselor Milligan,
Aye.
Counselor Silvernagle.
Aye.
And with that, those parcels look different on the map. Okay. So, that brings us to the end of the business agenda. Are there any council comments tonight?
I wanted to go back to community announcements,
Uh-huh.
because coming up in, was it 3 weeks? There's a tree lighting.
Yeah, thank
On
you.
campus.
Very good. And our meeting will be after that, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be
No.
December fifth.
December
Our
5th.
next meeting will be December seventh.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll meet before.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's always a fun event and brings the community and that's the wider community out. And I urge everyone to attend. Thanks, Steve, for bringing that up. Anybody have anything else?
You know, let's piggyback on that and say Saturday and Independence, they're doing a lot of stuff too.
Okay.
It's right next door. If you kill some time on Saturday, there's gonna be all sorts of holiday stuff.
Yeah, and just beyond that, on December 12th, so it's a Friday night, the YMCA Christmas party is in Independence as well at Greenville Farms. So if you have an interest in that, get a hold of the YMCA office.
And that serves as a fundraiser.
Fundraiser. Yep.
Okay, very good. Anyone else? I would just like to note that this is basketball season.
I'd also like to note that the Oregon Ducks are ranked second behind Alabama, ahead of Florida State.
Cool.
If you're interested.
All right. And so, we do have an executive session tonight, and that will be after the work session, so I will read the script for that and then ask for adjournment of this meeting to the work session, and we'll come back with the executive session after the work session, so I need a motion to adjourn until after the work session. The script reads, the city council will now meet in executive session for the purpose of discussing performance evaluation of public officers and employees. The executive session is held pursuant to ORS 192.6602I, performance evaluation of public officers and employees, which allows the council to meet in executive session. Representatives of the news media and designated staff or other persons shall be allowed to attend the executive session. All other members of the audience are asked to leave the room. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on any of the deliberations during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. No decision may be made in executive session. At the end of the executive session, we will return to open session and welcome the audience back into the room, and it is not anticipated that action will be taken this evening after returning from executive session. So again, everybody's welcome to stay through the work session, and then we'll head into that executive session. So if I could have a motion to adjourn the meeting until after the work session?
So moved. I'm
Second.
adjourned.
Second?
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, let's meet in the back in 5